Formula One's next regulatory cycle is already reshaping how teams think about car design. Early test activity and initial prototype appearances have underlined how far the category is moving from the current generation, with engineers forced to reassess almost every established concept. The objective is clear: lighter, more agile cars, greater efficiency, and a technical framework that responds to both sporting and political pressures. The first visible signs have come from early development programs, where new projects are beginning to show their basic proportions. Dimensions, weight distribution, and tire profiles are changing. These shifts alone require a fundamental rethink of aerodynamic balance, even before teams fully exploit the new freedoms and restrictions defined by the FIA.
Attention so far has largely centered on power units and the revised wing concepts. Reports have focused on how narrower Pirelli tires and altered chassis dimensions will affect performance windows. The discussion has also been fueled by the ongoing debate involving Mercedes and Red Bull after rivals questioned a technical solution that allegedly allows higher compression ratios at operating temperature before returning to the 16:1 limit when measured cold. According to the information circulating in the paddock, this approach could be worth between 10 and 15 horsepower, translating to a few tenths of a second per lap. Ferrari, Honda, and Audi are expected to seek clarification from the FIA at the Technical Commission meeting scheduled for January 22. Behind that headline controversy, the broader technical landscape is equally complex.
The revised energy deployment rules and limitations of the MGU-K's ability to sustain electrical output over an entire lap have forced the FIA into compromises that many engineers consider problematic. The result is a regulatory package that affects every area of the car, complicating development and pushing teams into unfamiliar territory. These choices were shaped by manufacturers who wanted Formula One to reflect a strong technological and environmental narrative. At the time, the emphasis on electrification aligned with broader industry expectations. The reality, however, is proving more difficult. Converting that ambition into stable, competitive, and efficient race cars has created additional layers of technical challenge. From a purely aerodynamic standpoint, the FIA's goal is to limit downforce loss in traffic and improve overall efficiency. To achieve this, movable front and rear wings have been introduced, while ground effect has been removed in favor of a return to a flat floor. That shift fundamentally changes how teams recover load, particularly at the rear of the car. One of the least discussed but potentially influential areas concerns the complex cascade of profiles traditionally integrated into the rear brake ducts. For years, these elements have been critical for managing airflow around the rotating rear tire, a region heavily affected by turbulence. They did more than tidy the wake. They supported diffuser extraction and contributed directly to downforce generation. Under the 2026 rules, that architecture is being split. The flaps located below the wheel center line must now be attached to the diffuser, while those above remain part of the brake duct. This alters the aerodynamic logic of the entire zone. Components fixed to the diffuser will no longer move with the tire's oscillations, unlike the elements still connected to the brake duct. Engineers expect this to introduce new flow instabilities, an effect already being studied in wind tunnels. On paper, the modification may appear minor. In practice, it touches one of the most sensitive regions of the car and could influence how quickly teams recover lost load on the new, more agile machines. It is another example of how the 2026 framework is forcing designers to rethink solutions that had become standard. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.